thank you very much. And I'd like to introduce Friedrich Trawöger from Nokia, who's going to talk about big data.
Good afternoon, everyone. So how is everyone feeling? All right, it's a little bit late in the day already, so I have a question for you. Who in the room is having some wearable on the body, right? I think that is connected, a smartwatch, something that collects data. Yeah, quite a few. I think who of you, I think, are getting served, I think, a drink because you are dehydrated, I think, automatically in the room? Anyone? Eric, that's wonderful. I think, why is it that I think you are not automatically, I think, served when your wearable is telling you actually that you are dehydrated? I think there are a couple of reasons for that, and I will elaborate partially, I think, on the reasons. I think as an industry, we have made huge progress in connecting people and things. According to McKinsey, I think IoT will grow 45% year on year in the coming years. We can connect, but how can we exchange data? And how can we safely monetize our data? That's the question I will try to answer in the next 10 to 15 minutes. 82% of the enterprises consider external data be critical for the future of their business. Most of the digital businesses that are founded today build, I think, their assets on the assumption that data are available to them. But there are 4 key challenges we have to overcome to really allow, I think, the industry to thrive on data. Number 1, data today resides predominantly in silos that are not connected. Number 2, compliance. Different countries and different regulations don't easily allow data to be shared. Third, often data exchange need to be in real time and need to happen at the edge. Hence, I think the availability of, edge capacity is still limited. And fourth is who really owns the data and who has the right to monetize the data. These are the 4 key challenges. Look, we in Nokia have created, I think, a platform, a marketplace that allows by private blockchain to address most of the challenges of data exchange and data monetization. And I will dive a little bit deeper into, I think, the next stage of development and what is required. So, we have here we see the parts of, I think, what is required in order to have today a proper, I think, IoT environment. You have the connectivity layer for devices and sensors. You have the network layer that connects everything. You have then the cloud, either public or right out to the edge. And you look at your device management and data collection layer. And on top of it sits, I think, what we call our Nokia data marketplace that really connects use cases and allows data to be shared. But the data are shared, I think, not by exchanging data and moving data. It's by AI and ML analytics that is running on the data, so we comply, number 1, I think, with regulations, and we reduce the amount of data that are transitioning to the different parts of the network. In CSP space, Nokia Data Marketplace can be a complementary offering on top of CSP private wireless strategy. A research institute in Alberta is providing and creating 5G use cases together with 5 CSPs that will allow, I think, data exchange and the creation of, I think, use cases that can thrive on a marketplace and are being built on, I think, a data model. To bring new 5G use cases to life, many different players in an ecosystem need to collaborate. And data is often the vital component. Open APIs enable all players to upload data streams. And NDM can deliver, an end-to-end solution. So, how have we arrived there? Look, before I deep dive into the interworking of the data marketplace, let's wind back a step. It was about 5 years ago, I think on a similar stage, we were announcing the launch of our IoT connectivity business wing. Right? Since then, I think we have rolled out a global network read, a global, I think, core network. We have managed, I think, the connectivity very well. Just to give you a couple of examples of, I think, key elements we have built. Today, we are connecting with AT&T cars around the world that seamlessly are connected and producing, I think, seamless results, I think, wherever they are deployed. We are working with our customer, Hutchinson in Indonesia, to connect up to 79 million smart meters and focus on energy saving. Or we focus together with HMD, also known as Nokia mobile phones these days, I think to connect up to 500,000 restaurants together, I think, with delivery partners. So the connectivity layer today, I think, is something I believe that is well managed and well handled. But after seamless connectivity, we are now taking the next step to solve the secure data exchange. Let's go back to the 4 challenges I mentioned. First, data silos. Private permission blockchain technology makes sure that data is safe and can be traced. This private permission is not public blockchain, but I say specifically private blockchain, because sometimes I think there is a clear confusion between one and the other. Second, compliance. In line with country-specific regulations and legal limitations, we use federated learning. What does it mean? We run AI and ML over the data without moving the data, but the results and the learning from the IML are clearly giving the insight and producing the outcome for the use case. Third, low latency. Processing at the edge ensures data can be produced in real time, because many of the use cases need low latency. And here, I think we work closely with our partner AWS to make sure that the edge capacity is available and tuned also for those use cases. And fourth, and not the least important, data ownership. Smart contracts will allow, I think, the owner of the data to sign and engage in a commercial agreement seamlessly and control the flow of data and the use of data. So, who can become a marketplace provider then? Everyone. Consortiums, CSPs, enterprises, because the marketplace in itself is neutral to the data that are being used. It's neutral to the use cases that are being provided. And I think this is the beauty, while I think clearly we love to work with our customers, I think it's open to everyone. And I will provide in the next stage 3 use cases we are deploying today, I think, that shows clearly the variability from, number 1, some maritime logistics, number 2, healthcare, and number 3, some sports. That shows clearly, I think, what this marketplace can be. So, let's start with maritime logistics. We have seen, I think, that supply chain and maritime, I think, delivery is one of the backbones of the world's logistics. And we have seen this year how painful it is when it is broken. So together with Marlen, a consultancy from the Netherlands that is focused on maritime supply chain, we are working on improving with Nokia Data Marketplace the flow of data through the various stages. You have inbound logistics. You have the entire, I think, customs. You have loading, unloading. You have the vessel at sea. You have all the organization that participate in the model. Today, this is totally fragmented. So with Nokia Data Marketplace, we allow that all these parties share their data together and if possible, I think allow also for the monetization of data. So this means everybody involved has access seamlessly to the data, sees, I think, what is processing, where there is a choke point, and allows, I think, real-time monitoring. Marlon, I think, looks at this as, I think, one of the key elements of optimizing maritime supply chain logistic, and estimates today that up to 30% of productivity can be gained in the supply chain of, and logistic of, I think, the maritime ecosystem. So let's move forward to healthcare. Blood pressure sensors, maybe here, I think on your wrist, I think glucose sensors and remote telemetry has caused an exponential increase in data at the edge already. But it's data that is maybe available to me only, and it's fragmented. We equally see that in many countries, healthcare sits in silos. I think part of the health is locally held by the GP, part is held by health institutions and hospitals, and part is, I think, just very private to myself. There are many reasons why this is. With Nokia Data Marketplace, we're hoping by running AI and ML algorithms over distributed data sets across different locations, the data, while I think privacy and everything is clearly warranted, can be used and can be put to use. We are partnering here with Equidium Health, earlier known also as Consensys Health, and together we will bring new use cases where research of data and patient data is of value. Just to give you, I think, one example that we are seeing today. Clinical, I think, trial matching is a key element when, I think, hospitals and when pharmaceutical companies look for the right set of patients to clearly, I think, work on new medication. I think it's very, very difficult to them to really find the patients, or the patients to subscribe, actually, I think, to the trial. With the matching of data of patients, it allows not only, I think, the trials to be more efficient, but it allows the first time for the patient to be in control of the data, and secondly, to monetize the data. Because I think today, this is something that is really, I think, at question. Look, number one, how much control does the patient have over the data, and can the data be monetized by the patient? So a very different approach to, I think, the healthcare system. But it's not limited to that. It can equally be used, I think, to have specific health plans, treatment plans, clearly, I think, matched to the patient for any other healthcare application. So last but not least, I think there is an example that most probably is very popular in the future in Spain. There's a world, I think, famous sport, football. Right? We are working with one of the biggest associations in sports to really reform the sport, football, make it more entertaining, more immersive, and I think this on the basis of using and exchanging and monetizing data. Each and every player through a game, football player through a game, produces about 7.5 million data points. 7.5 million data points. With a Nokia Data Marketplace, we are making the data available for the Football Association, for the players, and for the sponsors and broadcasters to clearly, I think, use associated with their interests. But it is at the interest of the player that they can decide what to monetize and how to monetize. Other than they have agreement with a sponsor, then it's maybe a slightly different game. But it's not only about monetization. It's also about players' health and other effects I think it might have on them. So, in summary, we have worked out how to simplify global data connectivity and collection. We are now tracking the data exchange and monetizing challenge with Nokia Data Marketplace using private blockchain technology. And this will enable CSPs, consortiums, enterprises, and individuals to become ecosystem orchestrators and participants, and will unlock additional potential of 5G use cases. Thank you so much.